Hey everyone, it's Lisa with Are You My Cousin? And I am here with my friend Pat Zale on a Wednesday. Yes, this is a kind of an extra genealogy Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So if you are finding us, you're not wrong. It is Wednesday, it is not Thursday. So we are here to talk about a really fun adventure that Pat came to me with and suggested, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. And we're here to answer all of your questions. So as you are coming in, if you don't mind, if someone wants to give me a thumbs up, tell me where you're watching from, something like that, that lets me know that you guys can see and hear everything okay, and we are good to go. Everything looks good on my end, so we're gonna, that'll let me know where you are. I'm actually coming to you from my office here in North Carolina, and Pat is coming from Connecticut.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. That's right. I had that moment. I'm like, wait a minute, not gonna. Oh, great. Thanks, Patty, for chiming in. She is in Portland, Oregon. Nice. I have never been to Portland, but I want to get out there. I've been to the Seattle area, but never Portland. But that Northwest is such a beautiful area, and we'll be doing that, won't we, Pat?
Yes, we
Hey,
will.
Dave, good to see you. And
Yes.
Deb is here as well from Colorado. Nice to see you. So we are just crossing the U.S. today. Anyway, so welcome, Pat. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Pat is a longtime Are You My Cousin reader, as well as the owner of Dream Vacations. And she is a travel and cruise expert. So you know where this is going, right, guys? Are You My Cousin is going to Alaska in June of 2022. And so I am super excited about it. And Pat and I wanted to kind of give you guys a time to chat and learn about it a little bit and maybe ask questions or start putting that bug in your ear to maybe join us. We'd love to have you all joining us on the cruise because it's going to be a ton of fun. Right, Pat?
Yes, it will be. It's considering that we're going to be sailing on the Quantum of the Seas, which is Royal Caribbean's newest, largest ship and has lots of things to do when we're not having our lectures. There's plenty to do and on the ship and on land. So you'll be kept very, very busy.
And despite what people think, we really cannot do genealogy 24/7 without going crazy.
Oh, really?
Or at least I can't. Huh?
Really?
Really? People actually, they do think, I think sometimes people think I do it more than I spend more hours a day doing it. But I mean, I have to take a break. I can't, the ancestors, they're going to be there when I get back. So
you're not going anywhere.
And, so anyway, well, let's talk a little bit about, so just right up front, guys, I've put the links in the comments. And if you're watching the replays, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, you'll find the links in the description. If you're watching the replay on Facebook, you'll find the links in the comment. So we are going to Alaska. It's June 20th to the 27th of 2022. And we're going to be going out of Seattle, and we'll be returning into Seattle as well.
Correct. Right. It's a round trip Seattle, which makes it nice and easy to fly in and out of one city instead of two different ones. Yes.
Yeah. And Seattle itself is a wonderful city to tour in. So if you have a little extra time and want to tack on some days at the beginning or the end, it's a great city to explore and get out and about.
Sails on a Monday, so you can always come in, and enjoy Seattle for the weekend before, and then hop on board the ship on Monday morning or a Monday when it's ready.
That's right. It is a Monday. It leaves on a Monday, and you're right. I had forgotten that part of it, and so it does give you that nice weekend kind of on the front end to do that type of thing. So, well, let's talk a little bit about what is a genealogy cruise, because I can kind of hear that question, even though I don't see it. I can kind of hear that question from people. What is a genealogy cruise, and how did it come about?
Well, how did it come about is that I've been searching for the ancestors for the last 20 years. So, and I follow you. So it's like, okay, let's see if we can make this a little bit better. So basically the genealogy cruise is that everybody who's got that, like mind that wants to learn more about how to find, I always say the nuts in the tree is what I always say, because goodness knows what we've got in our trees. We all have something different, but, and learn more. So basically, the genealogy part of it is that everybody who wants to join or come along with us is going to have the added benefit of you telling us what we're doing wrong and how to break through those brick walls and find all those ancestors that go all the way back to BC. Okay, we're going to go back.
Did you say all the way back to BC?
Zero. Okay. No, I know it's not quite that much, but what we're going to be able to do is that as a group, we're going to have separate area on the ship to, for you to give us a lecture seminar on different topics that I have left to your deciding what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Though I do have a list started of people who've already booked or people who have had questions that we're already getting those. So we're probably going to end up with 4 lectures, 4 seminars, one of which is going to be a Q&A. So we'll take all the questions that everybody has, if they haven't been answered with the first 3, and do it. Now, the plus side is we're going to be doing those on C days. So a C day is the day that we don't go into any ports, and they're all going to be done at various times, whatever works for the cruise line. Actually, they're the ones who assign the time and the place. And it'll be private to just those of us that are part of the group. And but they'll be on days it won't interfere with anything. It's not going to be at 8:00 at night where it interferes with a show. It won't be, on a day that we're cruising the glaciers. It will be on the days that we are right at sea. I've actually requested rooms that have windows, so in case something creeps out the window, like, oh God, there's a whale, and we all run to one side, then, we all get to see it anyway. So that's always fun to do with Alaska, because you never know what you don't know what's going to swim by or you'll see from the land. And, I've seen bear and deer and mountain goats, and of course the eagles fly everywhere. So we have all of that to do.
Ooh, I can't wait. And that's what great. Thanks so much for that little detail that you requested a spot where we're, as we're lecturing, but if we go by a whale or a whale goes by us, we won't miss that as well. Too.
Exactly.
So, I've never had genealogy interrupted by a whale, but I'm
it's okay.
I'm all for it. Yes. And so as she said, we're looking at 4 lectures. So, a lot of what I really want to kind of have themed is really kind of tackling brick walls and trying to come up with better strategies. So we'll be talking about, I'll be giving you a variety of strategies for ways to tackle a genealogy brick wall, how to set yourself up to make progress with that. I'm going to talk about tech tools that will help to kind of catapult your genealogy research. So some of the tech tools that you can utilize, we'll be talking about those in one lecture that will be useful to you that you may not have used before, but that can help you move that research forward. And also we're also going to talk about, as you know, strategies to kind of chip away at some of those female ancestor brick walls that we have, because so many of us have those female ancestor brick walls. And actually, sometimes it might be the male, but it ends up being the female, the mother or the wife that caused the issue with trying to solve his brick wall as well. So those are kind of the 3 big categories that we'll be going at. And then, of course, live Q&A will be our last one, because I think that's great. Pat came up with that idea, and I think it's a wonderful way for us to, work through some things that come up over while you're there. So, if you leave, you have this wonderful middle of the night question that kind of comes to your head or kind of thing, or, then we can address those while we're still together as a group. And I love doing group Q&As because everybody benefits. We all benefit. I benefit from it, and we learn from each other, because there's just no way that any of us can know everything about all of these places. So that's the genealogy piece of it. I know somebody had asked, they didn't want to miss any of the exciting pieces. We're not going to miss the exciting pieces of Alaska, because I'm going to be out there, looking at the glaciers as well. So we definitely not going to, you're not going to miss that piece of it as well.
And the other thing about leaving on June 20th is that June 21st is the longest day of the year. So we have 20 hours of daylight on Tuesday, so that you can actually, go down that rabbit hole for 24 hours if you really wanted to, because we're going to have daylight that entire time. So that'll be fun. And that's a C day, I believe. Yes.
That never even registered with me. Oh, that is so exciting.
Yeah. So the rooms do have room darkening shades if you really need it dark to sleep, because you will go to bed with it light and you will wake up with it already light. It's literally in and around about 4 hours worth of, it's not even really dark either. It kind of looks like dawn and dusk kind of met. in that little period of time.
It's been a long time since I've never seen the midnight sun before, but I've seen the 11:30 sun before. But yeah. So what about, I know that a couple of folks had questions early on in the process when we first came out with the announcements that they were going in, maybe their spouse wanted to go with them, but their spouse is not into genealogy. Imagine that. But are there things, they're worried, well, will they feel kind of bored or, lonely? But Pat, I know there are tons of things to do on this ship.
This ship is the largest that Royal Caribbean has built to date. And they basically took everything that they've had on their other ships and all the stuff that people come back and say they take things that are really popular now on land and they have added it to it. So you can, I personally don't want to jump out of an airplane. But they have put the ripcord I fly on board. So you get that sensation of flying without being, jumping out at 10,000 feet. So there's the ripcord. There's a rock climbing wall. There's a flow rider. If you want to try surfing, that'll be open weather permitting, depending on what the weather's like, but because it is outside. And Alaska's weather ranges from one extreme to the other. I've been there where I needed heavier clothing and I've been there where I needed shorts. So, and that's all within the same day.
Oh yeah.
We'll get into packing later. But the ship has that. It has the casino, has a solarium, has a spa. There's activities going on like all day long. They actually have an app. There's an app for that. There's an app for everything. Yeah. So Royal Caribbean has an app and it'll literally tell you everything that's going on for the day. So like in the past, they've always had like, maybe they have a wine tasting going on, or they might be teaching you how to do something, and they'll all be written down and it'll tell you where they are. They have shows. They have, there's, bars, restaurants, shopping. I did start to try to write it all down. There's just so much to do. Prior to, the big C word. My last cruise was on their second to the largest. It's just a little bit smaller than this. And I didn't get a chance to do everything. There was that much to do. So, and even the one before that, which was, now the third small stage smaller for Royal, I didn't get a chance to do everything that was on that one either. So they offer a lot to do. There's always bingo too.
Yes. And I will tell you, you guys, if you join us, you can watch me because I'm going to do that. What's it called? The ripcord?
We're going to do the ripcord. Yes. I'm going to go with you.
Okay. So
yes.
you
and I are going to try this.
You can watch us do that. It's the thing where you kind of float up in the air kind of thing and, or fly up in the air. And I'm also willing to do the rock wall. So if anybody wants to join me or just watch.
Okay. I may pass on that one. It's okay.
Well, I may not get more than about 2 feet off the ground. I don't know. I'm not exactly.
Okay, that is one thing I have not tried. I should.
But hey, I'm willing to try it. And so if you guys want to see what else I do in my,
Okay. And I will tell you that one of my most entertaining cruises was sitting there watching other people do the flow rider. It is, it's different. The water is actually forced up and you're surfing off of it. That's what it is. So, but I did watch, one of the times we were had passed there, they were doing it with the kids and the staff was just amazing with them because you have to be heavier to actually work. So they literally were riding the board with these small kids because these kids probably weighed 20 pounds, or 30 pounds and they were just flying off of them. So they went with them. So it was really nice to watch,
Yeah.
But
I will not be doing that.
And anybody who's athletic, there's a gym and there's also a running track, like if you want to get up in the morning and go for a run, they have a beautiful, you're not going to beat the scenery of watching, the Alaska go by as you're running.
Yes. And I will invite people to join me on that as well, because I will be running. Okay. So is there anything else we need to tell people about the cruise itself as far as details or what they need to do next or anything like that that they need to do? So again, I have put the link in the comments so that you guys can learn more about the cruise and then get over to Pat's page as well. Eric said he's been to Alaska in 2008 on a cruise and it was very daylight at 12 a.m. And I really think that's going to be cool to see.
It is. It's funny because you lose track of time. You don't really, it's like it's daylight and you think, oh, I did already have dinner. I guess, oh, it's midnight and I'm still up.
Yeah.
You're outside just sitting there looking at the view. It is kind of funny because you just don't, you lose track of time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine. And I don't, and if anyone has, and does anybody have any ancestors from Alaska? So we won't be, we'll be, I think that would be really kind of interesting, learning more about our 49th state while we're up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually done some virtual speaking up in Alaska as well. So there's some very active genealogy groups up there as well. But I am super excited to be able to, have fun time and, get to know readers and participants on the more casual level, as well as to be able to bring together talks on, our favorite genealogy topics, which seems to be a lot of brick walls these days that I keep tackling. And I'm slowly making some progress, and I'm learning some different techniques. So I'm really looking forward to being able to share that with people and help folks along with that. So, yes. So Pat, any other things about what they need if they're interested in learning more? Just send them to the page and let them go from there.
Head out to the page and it'll have the pricing information, the dates when things are due, that kind of stuff. And then, if they're interested in booking, there's a link to register, ask for all the information that you need. The one thing that's not on there yet is that Royal Caribbean, like much of the other lines, are now requesting whether you're vaccinated or not. It is a numbers game. They are still working where they don't want more than 5% not vaccinated, which leads me to, if somebody wants to bring their kids, they are more than welcome. The cruise line does have a wonderful kids program. They'll be kept very busy. When my kids were younger, they didn't want to leave. It was like, okay, guys, we're going to go to dinner. Do we have to? There's always something for them to do, while they're there. But that again, since it's a numbers game, they don't want more than 5%. So they are asking if you are or not vaccinated. I will be asking you that question separate because it's not on the registration form, not yet.
Okay.
Anyway, they're working on that. So that would be the one thing. And, and then go back into COVID for any reason that something happens where numbers go shooting up and they need to cancel, you get a refund. There isn't travel insurance, which is highly recommended. And that covers anything and, anything medical. So, if God forbid somebody were to catch COVID the 2 days before, it's a medical reason. It would be the same thing as if your appendix broke the morning you're getting ready to leave, which I had happened to a client.
Oh,
yeah. So at least his wife was able to contact me, and I got the cruise ship to know that they were, as opposed to being no shows, they were just canceled.
Right.
It's slightly different. But yes, it does happen. So anything can happen. So that's the reason for it. And, it does cover if the luggage gets misplaced, or your luggage goes to another 6 cities before it gets finally caught up to you, which happened to me.
I'm sure.
So, yes, it does happen, regardless of the fact that it's a nonstop flight or not. So, but again, insurance is always one of those things but it's always good to have. Again, that's all on the website, so it's all there, and and anybody can call me too if they have questions.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Feel free to reach out to Pat if you have questions as well. You'll have her information on that page as well. So anyway, well, Pat, thank you so much for coming and talking about Alaska today and our cruise. So guys, I really hope that you guys are interested. And again, if you have questions, let us know. Or if you have friends who you think might be interested in joining us as well, please feel free to, send them our way and we will get them in the right spot. So I will be back tomorrow on tomorrow afternoon, Thursday at 3 p.m. for our regular weekly Facebook and YouTube live. So I'm looking forward to that. This was just kind of an extra one that Pat and I wanted to kind of come to you today and share with you, because it's such a fun, exciting time for us to be able to do this and to be able to offer this. So Pat, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.